Welcome to Inside the Wires, hands down, the best podcast in all of racket sports. Listener discretion may be advised for a younger audience.
All right.
Yes.
Want to open up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I just want to get the full screen so I can see me too. Exit. No, I don't. I just want to see you. I don't want to
that's
see my
so
face.
nice. You say the nicest things.
There we go. All right. You want me to start?
What are we targeting? Are we like a half hour-ish kind of thing? What do you think?
Dude, truly, I was thinking like 15 to 20. Done.
Perfect. All right,
Knock
so
it
we'll
out.
So we'll
Welcome
bang through
back.
these things. Yeah.
Let's bang through it and get the fuck out of here.
Sounds like a plan, Stan. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, it's recording.
We are back. I'm Ben.
I'm Noah.
And welcome to season 4. I am back in my two older children's bedroom on a Sunday evening, sitting here with Noah. How are you doing, buddy? All good?
I'm doing fantastic. We got to teach you how to make one of these cool backgrounds. See, like that.
I know Noah. If
all
no,
high-tech.
you guys can't see this, and we are going to be doing YouTube videos this year, but Noah's got a fancy looking Xenon background. Those of you who are new to our show, Noah is the brains behind and the owner, CEO, the best player, and all of that for Xenon for Xenon paddles. So guys, welcome back, season 4. This is about the time when Noah goes, how are we on season 4 when this is only our 2.5 year, but we described that last year and I'm not going to touch on it again.
Sure. Starting for those of you relatively new, April of 2020 started
April
COVID.
23 pandemic. We did
Yeah.
a little season 1, then we got into the season 2, then last year season 3, and now we're on season 4. We do have another host to the show, Blake Anderson. He doesn't show up very often. It's a monumentous event when he does. He's away somewhere this evening.
The Jersey Shore.
He's on the Jersey Shore.
He's filming the new episode of the Jersey Shore.
He's fist pumping and getting a high tight fade. All right, well, let's just knock out an intro. Quick episode, just say hi, welcome back to Paddle for everyone. Noah, I figured we'd start the show talking about holes. No, I'm only fucking with you. No, we're going to talk about assholes. No, we're not going to talk. We will not talk about Alex Banchilla on today's episode. I promise you, Noah. Let's move on. Let's talk about how was your summer, Noah? Let's talk about it.
The summer was good. Obviously the highlight has to be the mud hole in Columbus, the Saturday after the 4th of July. As usual, a good time had by all down in Columbus, Ohio. I believe the only summer paddle tournament that I'm aware of. But
I didn't go. This is my first year in a while not going. I missed Ox and DC and Brian Heil, and
it was a lighter turnout than normal. The Pittsburgh crew didn't make it. I think there was only one team from Pittsburgh as opposed to like 5 or 6 that usually come. Tom Murphy, Ryan Baxter usually come, and those guys didn't make it this year. So I'm not sure what happened, but the good news is it's always a great time over there. So it was fun, but I think the rest of the summer was somewhat non-eventful. Last summer with our youngest daughter at home before we took her back to school for her senior year, and then she's off into the wild. So this was like the last time she's going to live at home, I guess, forever. So it was kind of weird, but other than that, so all good. All good.
I don't know how wild it is. I do know where your son currently lives and what he drives. I don't know how wild it is, Noah.
It's wild in that it's strange that I guess I'm old. I mean, I know I'm old, but I guess that makes it real. How about your summer, Ben? Tell us about your summer.
I did a lot of the dirty word, pickleball.
Yeah.
Fuck, I played a ton of pickleball this summer.
Oh, that must have been fun.
I hate to say it. It kind of is. It kind of is. It's kind of.
So is that a game that because as you talk to enough directors, pros, people in general, it seems like if you have the right 3 other people that you're playing with, it's tolerable or fun. And if not, it's like watching paint dry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you get three other kind of pros on the court, and it's fun. I got to be honest, I actually enjoy teaching it because it's there's like it's kind of what Americans love. It's pretty much instant gratification. It's not like 9 months of learning the sport and having a rally of like 4.
Right.
By the end of the first hour, they're already playing. The scoring and the rules are the hardest part of the game.
For sure.
Is
it true? Is it true that it's the bowling of the 2020s?
The bowling?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like an activity rather than a sport. I mean, you have a beer in your hand and you throw, you have at it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's something you do with your unathletic spouse, that kind of thing.
I think so, right? But I gotta tell you, the professional pickleball league, those fuckers are doing it right, man. Yeah. Like they let's not throw any stones on our first episode, but the Pickleball Association is killing it.
Yeah.
As far as their sponsors, their coverage,
big prize money, like,
huge
tournaments all over. Yeah.
Like, I really don't play a huge amount of pickleball. I could already name, kind of Tyson McGuffin and Ben Johns and all these. And,
sure.
I actually heard that I was watching Tyson McGuffin play and I was like, have you seen this guy?
I've heard the name. I've never watched pickleball.
So he kind of looks like a massive douche. He's got like a mustache and like a mullet and sleeveless shirts. And I'm a big fan. He's all tattooed up, so I'm cool with that. And
it's almost like Tyler Owens.
He's kind of like pickleball's Tyler Owens, who as we know, is a massive douche too. But that's okay. But like he's amping up the crowd, and I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. But I was talking to one of my clients and he did a camp with him and he's like, he's the nicest guy and he's done a great job promoting himself and he's got this brand and he's all about family and his kids. And it was like, dude, this guy's awesome. I've been following him and
well, you used to live with a bunch of hockey players in school. I mean, like when I used to work in the summers at hockey camps with some of the top guys in the NHL years ago. Obviously, it was some of these guys that were like big fighters and just beasts on the ice were like the nicest guys off the ice. They have this alter ego, and it sounds like that's kind of what he does, right?
It's crazy.
He does something to to generate interest and pay the bills, but then just a whole different person off the ice.
It's crazy. I was like, it's awesome. Yeah, my roommates I had a couple of fighters that live with me and they're like the sweetest human beings you'll ever meet. Like you see them on skates on ice and they'll destroy people. And then like you're at home with them and they kind of chill with you on the couch and they're the soft spoken and like the nicest people.
It's a different gear. It's kind of like the MMA fighters.
Yeah. Right. And I guess because they got nothing to prove. They don't give a shit.
Right? Oh, speaking of that, I mean, as long as we're going off track here, my wife and I watched, on Netflix. I think it was Netflix. No, I don't know. Amazon Prime, maybe, called Kai last night. Kai. It's about this bodybuilder, Kai Green. And a fascinating story. He like finished so close to Mr. Olympia for, I don't know, like 5 years in a row. And the guy was just a beast. And it was a fascinating story about kind of where he came from and how he grew up. And same thing. I mean, this guy was a monster. I mean, like huge, and just like talking about the nicest guy you could ever imagine, most humble guy. It was crazy.
Really?
So,
I'll watch it. That's like Ronnie Coleman, another guy.
Yeah.
Soft spoken and relaxed. And and it's called Kai.
Kai, Kai. Yeah, that's his first name, but it was a fascinating story. So
well, everyone watch it. And then welcome to a paddle show where we never talk about anything paddle related.
There you go.
No, but dude, so you play summer paddle. I always have the intention of playing summer paddle. And then like August rolls around. I was like, well, that didn't work out as much. And I got a couple of vacations coming and then it's mid-September. I'm like, fuck, season starts in like 2 weeks. That's kind of where I'm at. I played Thursday for the first time in a while.
I tell you what, though, the number of guys, I mean, like I talked to Mick Ardoya, who, a lot of guys, I don't think like touching a paddle in the summer because the season is so long, especially if they're playing a lot of tournaments and going deep in the tournaments. But even Mick was saying he was playing like fairly regularly every week, and just a lot of people seem like they're lot of people seemed like they were playing this summer, like a lot of high level people, a lot of just regular players. It's shocking how year round it's become. I mean, I played this year for, I don't know, fifth or sixth year in a row, the Hinsdale Summer League. So this is for people who aren't in Chicago. Hinsdale is a Park District program. Basically, it's a municipal club, and they had between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they had 120 guys playing summer paddle in a league this summer.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. So yeah, it's crazy. It's getting year
They got
round.
8 courts now, right? Hinsdale?
6. They're trying to get the last 2. I mean, that's another thing. We should talk about that. Courts are going crazy. I mean, just my understanding is the backup right now to get new courts put in is a year and a half. And I think part of that is just demand, and part of that's getting the aluminum and everything else, but a year and a half wait on new courts. But you got an awful lot of clubs now, Chicago or otherwise, that are looking to add more courts and, go to 8 courts, 6 courts if they're at 4. I mean, it's shocking the amount of increase in courts and growth in the sport. It's a good time to be playing paddle, I think.
Yeah. And if any of you are at a club and they're all putting courts in, kind of stop by each day if you have a little bit of time to watch it. Like last year we had my whole facility. We went from a swimming pool to 3 courts, and they put them up really quick. In like 2 weeks, we put the whole thing in, and they're putting another court in right now. It's really cool to watch them come in and pour all the concrete, and then it'll like put that jigsaw puzzle together at the courts, and then like paint them, and whatever guy bare-fisted kind of throws that grit down on the court. It's really cool. If you ever get a chance to kind of see it done, it's really interesting how they kind of hand tie all the seams together of
Sure.
the screens, and I don't know, it's interesting. But there are so many courts going up,
and those guys, I mean, kudos to the court builders. I mean, everyone that's waiting for a court wants it yesterday, right? But I mean, those guys, you see those guys out there working, they're usually doing 12+ hour days whenever they're out there. It's crazy how much they're working.
Well, yeah, and they're building this time of year. It's hot as fuck on those courts.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, they're starting, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning and go until 9 o'clock at night if they have any kind of light at all. It's crazy. So those guys are bringing it out.
And I will tell you, GMs and pros, if any of you are listening, when you get those court builders, stop by each day, leave a case of beer for them for the evenings, because they're traveling, they're staying in hotels. You will get everything you want. They will put it in for you. They'll work a little bit earlier. They'll knock it out. So take care of those guys, pros.
But make sure you leave the case of beer later in the day so they don't start drinking at 10 o'clock.
Always. You always drop it off at like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Hey, just because I'm sure everyone was on pins and needles waiting for this information, but Kai is available on iTunes, Amazon Instant Video, and Google Play. So
nice. The information you never knew you wanted.
Thank God the internet is readily available for us.
How you come to us. Is
So,
that all you ever use it for, Noah? That's
pretty much. Let's go there. So how about Padel? I think I told you I had a chance to play Padel in the soon to be first Padel court in all of Chicago. It's up in the northern suburbs, and Rudy Khalil, who we'll have to have on here, is putting that together. I think he's doing a conjunction with Wilson. But indoor Padel courts, and I know saw a bunch of the Philly guys, and actually Jared Palmer I saw was over in Philly, I don't know, a couple of months ago, maybe playing some Padel at
Jesus, how good is he going to be?
Padelphia, they call it. I think that's a great name, Padelphia, right? In Philly.
Not bad.
So, but I saw who was there, Tomas Christian and a bunch of other pros. I'm forgetting who else was there, but they had a bunch of guys out there playing. But it's
so we should be Scheidel,
something like that.
Okay, all right.
But if you haven't seen Padel before, it's Padel. It's a South American European game, similar to paddle in that you can play it off the walls. Different in that part of the wall is glass or plexiglass, so you get a fairly true bounce, and spin is, you get a little spin, but it's kind of tough. You use a bigger, firmer paddle, carbon fiber usually, so it has a lot of pop. And I got to tell you, I found it was a little.
It's a tennis ball, right? Is that what they use?
It's a depressurized tennis ball. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to tell you though, it's I think it's a lot more strain on the arm, because you're usually going off and
winging that thing.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I mean, it's similar in that you get two serves. So unlike paddle, you get two serves, and so more like tennis. Otherwise, the scoring's the exact same.
Serving's underhand.
Serving is underhand. You have to bounce the ball first and then hit it below your waist. So it's like
Okay.
it's like pickle there. And the only thing that was different was I think he said only played it once. I think he said that you don't go to deuce. Like when it goes to deuce, they call it a golden point or something like that. So you play 1 point. I think the receivers pick who gets it, and that's it. So you don't go to deuce. You just
Okay.
do that at 40 all. But fun game, I tell you what, indoors and a lot of sweating.
Well, I gotta tell you, just like pickleball, where I think their association, the PPA or whatever it's called, anytime someone asks me kind of what I do for a living and everything, I was like, I play paddle, and they're like, oh yeah, I've seen that, and they start describing padel. So like the Padel Association, whoever the fuck they are, is doing a much better job than, again, we are. And I understand there's a bigger base, but I think they're doing a better job than we are promoting the game. And because anytime I describe what I do for a living, someone's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. And I'm like, no, that's not what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what's actually might be hopefully will be helpful. I mean, they're going to have 12. I may be off on the number, but not by much. I don't think 12 of the APTA tour events are going to be live streamed this year. I think all but one of them is going to be live streamed. So, there's going to be a lot more content if people want to see it. And I think got a number of companies doing it. So now we might have, more competition and more professional production and less downtime.
That's where
for
I
some
was
of
going to
that.
go. I was hoping, like a My Paddle gets involved a little bit
They
more
are.
in like, I know there's other guys in it, but like Mark Innes, I think just kills it with My Paddle, like his
Yep.
production and creativity and,
Yeah.
by far. Cause I do think last year, dude, I like watching the live stream. I think it's
Sure.
good, but some of the fucking camera angles and the
Well, some
sound
of
is
the dead
going
air.
out
Yeah,
and dead air. And
Yeah.
I do think, Easterbrook and Fisher and Jerry Vian and Innes when he's on there, Patty Hogan,
There you
right?
go. Sure.
I think those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the
And
camera
donating
angles,
the
you can't.
time.
You
Donating
can't,
the time.
100% they donate their
Yeah.
time, which,
Right.
and Jerry's in Australia.
Yeah.
Right?
That's-
Isn't
that's
she in
certainly
Australia?
dedication. So I
Yeah.
believe for this year they're going to expand the field of announcers, which is great because obviously there's so many more events too. But I think they're going to have maybe 20 different people, I want to say, which
Okay.
is good.
All
So
right,
get some different
that's good.
voices.
I hope so, and I stand by the fact that Patty Hogan and Mark Innes, 6 beers deep at the Pro Flight Paddle events, the greatest commentators ever.
Oh, yeah.
No offense to Easterbrook and Fisher and all those guys. Those guys are great, and I
I think
enjoy
they get that
listening
many,
to those guys.
they
but
don't get that many beers deep. That's the issue. I think
it's disappointing.
yeah,
APTA, get on it.
they're always
Supply
sober.
Innes and Hogan with alcohol, and your viewing will go up.
Dave Broderick, same thing.
Dave Broderick, he's
yeah.
great.
Dave orders drinks live on air. That's
Yeah,
always
but
good.
yeah, just some of the cameras last year, you couldn't even see
Yeah.
the baseline, or there's a camera angle from, another court away looking over a crowd. I'm like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We're better than this.
Yeah, no, I think competition this year will bring out the best, and with different vendors doing it, I think that should be great. Because
Well, and you don't have to say anything to this, and I'll touch on it in another episode when you're not here. But competition is good, guys. It brings out the best in everybody. If you only have 1 or 2 companies, shit gets stale. It's good to bring more companies in. It means your sport is growing and getting better and innovation and all of that. So
absolutely,
I'll get
Yeah.
off my soapbox. I'll discuss that when
Absolutely.
you're not here.
thank you.
I might bring Ara in for an episode.
That
He
would
might be
good.
easier to track down than Blake these days. So Ara from the Real Paddle Boys, formerly the Real Masters Boys. Your invite is out there, and we'll get you on the show very soon.
So that's a good lead in because they were just up at a paddle camp up at Owl's Nest, New Hampshire.
Yes, they were
With,
drawing pictures on the courts,
Did you see that one guy? Did you see the video of that drunk guy? I assume he's drunk.
falling over.
Oh my God, was that? And like he was inches away from lighting his head up on the post too.
So
but-
it was funny until he started falling. I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, he's gonna hit his head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny. But so summer camp. So those guys were up with Mick Doyas, Sven Burish, Lynn Kiro, Mark Ennis, I think was up there as well.
He gets
Uh,
around, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Guy's all over the place.
And he flies around a lot too. But
Yeah.
so now I think let's see who's going to be Johan Durant, Stephen Mitchell, and the whole crew for SA Rackets is now going up to Owl's Nest, New Hampshire.
Is
And
that
for-
like Genius and
yeah, I hope
yep.
Genius is back. Genius tore his Achilles the end of last year, so I hope
Oh,
he's
no.
back. I'm not. I haven't talked to him much at the end of the summer, but hopefully he's back. And
I mean, he's a fit young man. He should have
Yeah, he is.
recovered pretty soon.
You
Right?
hope so. Yeah. So Genius is usually up there. A few other guys go up there. I think Chris Humphreys maybe in the past has gone up there. But
Cool.
yeah, so those guys have the paddle camp up at Owl's Nest. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, talk a little bit about paddle camps. But Owl's Nest is like 2 hours straight north of Boston, and really neat facility. 4 courts up there, and a lot of people are using that now for some summer camps. Just saw Drew Broderick and Tomas Christian and the legend Guy Moore out in Telluride right now doing a camp. I think Drew's been doing that. Drew and Guy have been doing that for maybe 12 years now, maybe a little bit longer even than
Mhm.
that. There's Performance Paddle Camps is doing one out on Nantucket. That's Mike Gillespie, I think, is doing that. And
Is that
Mickey
Anna? Is
Borzova.
that Anna Borzova?
Yeah,
Is that who that is?
Yeah, Anna and her brother Mickey are doing that with Mike
Guga?
Gillespie.
Is maybe Guga out there?
I thought Guga, didn't he go to Texas for pickleball or something?
I don't know. I'm just throwing names
thought
out
so.
there. Sound like
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
fucking
Kyle
most of the time I'm
Devlin
full
was
of
out
shit.
there in Nantucket, and then I think going to Nantucket, who's out there? Macy Elliott's going out there. Carl Levenant, I think Bernard Showman's going out there to Nantucket, I believe. I may be completely wrong, but I think they're all doing their camp Springbok out there.
Okay.
I think Juan Araya and Patricio did the paddle
Everywhere?
camp. Yeah,
From what
they
I've seen,
yeah.
on social media with
Did it.
Skull U and their paddle camps, those guys have been all over the
did
country.
a bunch of camps, but
That's great.
for people, I mean, almost part of the problem is all these camps are like selling out so quickly every place.
Oh, you forgot one.
What's that?
Well, you forgot two actually. There's the Chicago one, which is Top Seed.
Oh
It's
yeah,
an
Top
all
Speed,
female paddle camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to throw this one out there. I believe Carrie Delmonico came into town and didn't call us to go drinking. I'm kind of disappointed in Carrie.
for Top Seed.
Oh, my liver thanks her for
Yeah.
not calling us. Yeah.
She did Top Seed.
I think she came out for Top Seed.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice,
And then
nice.
you forgot Anna and Floor. They got their tri-state.
The Tri-State Paddle Camp. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're done yet. If they've done all their sessions, maybe they did do all their sessions already.
Have they?
But yeah, I mean, but the thing with all these camps is it's crazy. They're like all of them sell out almost instantly, which is great. But
Well,
it's
we
tough-
should
tough
we
people
should
to
get kickback. Will you talk about your experience at paddle camps? You've loved it, right? You've done a number of them. You and Terry.
Yeah.
We can't repeat some of the stories on air. Come find me at a tournament. I'll
Yeah.
tell you about them off air.
Yeah,
But,
they're fun. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing
You have a
is-
good
is-
time, right?
Oh, they're great. And the great thing is like they're all in great locations. I mean, if you're going to New Hampshire in the fall or Nantucket, probably most any time, or Telluride, there's some new courts that are going to be used for like a destination paddle camp. Ian Hintz is involved with that. It's in, and I forget the city in Colorado. It's near Aspen, but some more courts out there that are going to be able to use for destination paddle camps. They're just so
flows
cool.
like wine. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's neat. I think for people who haven't gone to it before, obviously you're getting instruction from some extremely high level players, which is always phenomenal. And you're having a few days away with the boys or the girls and having
Yep.
fun doing that, and at a neat location. And it's just I highly recommend it if you have a chance to go to one of these camps there, whether it's just for a getaway and to get
Yep.
a little bit better, hopefully, but just fun stuff in the off season or to get ready for the season.
Yeah, we had well, you brought in Xenon brought in Mick, Sven, and Lynn to my club, and they everyone loved their camp and had a great time with it. And it was
Yeah.
nice that they came into Chicago. I will tell you real quick, the following week, I ran a camp with Marek Chavinsky and Scott Mansinger, and a number of the people that came out to Mick and Sven's camp came to us. And I go, oh, that was really cute that you guys had a one-time national champion running your paddle camps. That's great. We've got 12 times national champion here today. So your one time, that was great. And I know Nick and Sven won't get mad at me for saying that, but yeah, we had the legend Scott Mansinger, who, just a quick shout out to Scott, because everyone talks about Johan and all these great players, but that guy is near 60 these days, and he's still playing. And if you ever get a chance to step on the court with Scott, the way his brain works, he has this whole number system for hitting drives off of lobs, and lovingly I call him the Rain Man of paddle, and I mean that in the nicest way. Guy's just a genius. And we had an odd number one night, and I actually came out and drilled on his court, and I'd never taken a paddle drill before. And it was so much fun. I walked, I'm playing with some like series 23 guys, just helping out to get the numbers right. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm learning so much. I've never got to take a paddle camp before.
What's so crazy about, like, you think about 12-time national champ. Was it 12 or 8?
It's 8 national. 8
in 12.
8 mains. No. He's been in a number, but he's got like mixed doubles championships and over 45s too. He's got 8 regular national championships. Yeah. So I believe Johan's got 2 more to catch up to him.
3 more.
Johan's got 6.
5, I believe.
5. Only 5 national champ. Come on, Johan. What are we doing?
But what's amazing is, you think about, you talk about in sports records that'll never be broken, like, Wayne Gretzky's single season point mark and some of these guys' career marks for whatever. Yep. 8 national champions, like Mary Doughton and Hinsdale, which, locally 6-time national champ, right? Some of these things, and obviously what Johan's done thus far, and, may still get a couple more before he's done. It's just amazing. And you kind of wonder if they're ever going to be able to, if players now are going to be able to replicate that, just because the overall level has gotten so much better, I think.
I don't think so. I don't, they won what, 7 or 8 of the titles in 10 years, maybe. Right. I think there was maybe a Uline Kevens in there and a Stulak maybe or something, but that's a tough one. I don't know. I think the level's so good now, but that goes to how good were Anna and Floor last year.
Yeah.
Right. Unbeaten
to run the table. Absolutely.
Now here, quick question. Is the pressure on them this year or off them? Oh my God, they were unbeaten, or they're like, fuck it, we've had one of the best seasons ever. Like, if we lose a few, who gives a shit? Yeah,
that's one of those things. Obviously, you don't want to see them lose it all, and they don't want to see themselves lose it all. But I would think that if you're going to, you'd probably have it be early in the season to get kind of that done and over with, and
get it out the way.
Then you get back at it. But there was they had several matches where they had had real challenges. They had several match points. They fought it off. So it's this is going to be a fun season. It's going to be great. Hopefully COVID is a complete non-event this year, and people can get back to complete normalcy, and it should be some fun season going on.
Well, I think it's going to be a fun season. So let's talk real quick. You and I talked briefly. I think we're going to change the show up a little bit, right? This year, let's mix it up. We've had a few years of interviewing players after tournaments and all of that. And lately I've been watching a bunch of YouTube on soccer, and there's actually a really interesting guy on golf called Rick Shields. I don't know if anyone watches him, but he's like just a club pro, and he has all these things and interviews guys, and they do it with them soccer, and it's just bringing guys on and not talking so much about the sport, actually just getting to know them. And I think we're going to try and do that with the players this year. Let's have some fun talking to them. I don't want, we'll talk about some paddle, but we don't need to talk about, we don't need to talk about the point at 30 all in the semifinal against so-and-so at the live stream that 7 people were watching. We don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about
who has the best food at a tournament.
Who has the best food at a tournament? What do you do that drives your wife nuts? That could be a long show for some of these guys.
Well, in fairness, or your husband nuts. Let's not exclude a good part of the audience, right?
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Who are the on Instagram? Paddle Camp Adventures? Is that what
Paddle
they?
Camp Adventures. Yeah,
Are
there
they,
are some
those,
ladies out of
they are.
Barrington Hills, Biltmore, in Chicago here. They're crazy.
And they're in Nantucket right now, I think, actually.
They are. I think that is one of the times they go to a paddle camp, and paddle is secondary.
Yeah.
I think cases of wine get drunk over the next few days.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Nah.
That's good stuff.
Paddle camp adventures are good, but I think we're going to talk to a bunch of guys this year, right? And
Yeah.
let's have some fun with them. Let's change it up a bit.
Find out more about them.
Done.
So Ben, when can the adoring fans? And by the way, I did talk to a number of people this summer that I didn't know, that came up to me and said, "Hey, really digging the show and wanting to do some more." And I said, "We got to get back on that." So thanks to our fans. But when can they see us in person next?
Montclair. We're going to New Jersey.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. Tyler Owens is going to carry me at Montclair, and you're playing with who?
I'm playing with Leon Garvey from the Xenon Boys. Leon's legendary.
That's awesome.
Liam's classic. But yeah, he and I are playing together out there. That's gonna be a great tournament. Montclair, I'll tell you what, their membership, I mean, obviously that area is phenomenal, but their membership just does a great job supporting them. And that club does a great job putting on events. So it's gonna be fun out there. It's gonna be a great weekend. It's October 14th through the 16th, Friday through Sunday.
Nice. All right, so we'll be out there. I'm
giving socks away.
Well, we've got a few new sponsors. Noah, Xenon's not our only sponsor these days. We're sponsored by a hotel resort now and a sock company. Excellent. So we'll be giving away some stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping that Mick Adoya kind of rigs it a little bit and gives me a decent draw with that, because it might be someone in my house's 40th birthday. And I might be in the doghouse a little bit because I forgot and committed to playing that tournament. So I'm hoping we have a good weekend. It'll be fun. Let's drink with some people, have a good time.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Broderick already reached out wanting to have a beer or two.
Excellent.
So that'll be fun. Come see us.
Come say hello if you recognize us. We post this video, you'll see us. But
yep.
Come say hello. We can do maybe some interviews on the spot there and post them up on the podcast. That'd be fun.
Yeah, let's have some fun in Jersey.
That sounds good. And in the meantime, as you're getting ready for the start of the season, let's talk to your pros and get some lessons and work on some things that you need to, right? How many times do you have people that just go out there and bang the ball around and have a lot of fun, but can't figure out why they never get any better because they keep doing the same thing over and over and don't actually work on stuff? So like this is the prime time to work on stuff, right?
I think so. I think, go take lessons, as much as getting better, this is also how a lot of these guys support their families and stuff. So, get out there, and they've got a wealth of knowledge. And, we spoke about Anna and Floor. They have a coach. They had an unbeaten season and they have a coach. And they take lessons and feedback, and even on an unbeaten season, I know they're still working with their coach. Absolutely. So, get your ass out there, call up your local pro, talk to them, go to these paddle camps, take lessons, and it does pay off in the end.
And you know what's interesting? I think a lot of times I've seen the pros will be watching the player, like watching their members or the players and know what they need to do. But unless the player asks them for advice, like the pro doesn't want to give it unsolicited because they may be offended or whatever, but
yes,
they know exactly what the issue is. All you have to do is ask and say, let's go out and work for an hour, or an hour once a week, once every couple of weeks, whatever, and ask them what they're doing wrong. I mean, it's shocking. Yes. You'll get the answer. You may not like the answer, maybe you will, but just go out and fix it. It's like easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it's easy to ask.
As you were saying that, I just came up with one of the questions when we talked to one of the pros. Like, what's your biggest pet peeve when you're coaching somebody? I'll tell you mine. I've got a person that I coach. I won't tell you if it's tennis, pickleball, or paddle, but I'll be giving advice, and he'll cut me off halfway through the sentence trying to guess what I'm about to say. And he's wrong. Motherfucker is wrong 100% of the time. And I'm like, someone's like, can I just finish the sentence? And we'll get there. It's all good because,
because they're paying you. But
instead of 1 or 2 lessons, it takes me 4 or 5 to get the point across because he spends half the time guessing what I'm about to say. And it's amazing. You think he would get it right at once, but it drives me absolutely nuts. I'd be like, okay, so we're gonna. Oh yeah, my cutter overhead. Nope, that's not what I was gonna say in the slightest. Like,
guessing that's not pickleball then.
Quit guess. No, it might be paddle. Quit guessing what your pro's about to say. Shut up, listen, and you'll be amazed
try something different, right?
Yes, it'd be amazed at what you pick up.
Absolutely.
Go take lessons. Take lessons.
Absolutely. And look for our next show. We'll be out shortly, and we'll have some good stuff for you this year.
And if you see Blake Anderson in the wild, let us know.
Till next time. See ya.
Awesome. Muchas gracias.